Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. Hope you're all doing well. I'm back with another review. This is Zombie Army Trilogy on the Nintendo Switch, which is the latest port from Rebellion. And while there are a few frights here and there in terms of its iffy online and poor motion controls, this Outbreak is actually fun, albeit a little repetitive in this excursion to a time-bent World War II era. I want to give my thanks to Chris Penwell, who penned this script together. We really do appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much. And if you want to read more of our stuff, head on over to www.switchwatch.co.uk. In terms of the story then, let's get into it. It's almost the end. The Allies are close to taking Berlin, but in a desperate turn of events, Adolf Hitler is in his bunker, activates Plan Z, or for our friends in the US, Plan Z, and resurrects the fallen soldiers on the battlefield as zombies. Now it's a fight for survival as the Allied forces try to figure out a way to defeat this outbreak and stop Hitler for good. Don't expect an Uncharted level storyline from this game. There's very little in-game dialogue and a few cutscenes. This general storyline is a means to an end and not the main hook of the game. However, if you like wacky alternate history timelines and an occult twist, you may dig it. In terms of the gameplay, you've come to this review for a reason. You know what you're getting. Zombies, many zombies, and open landscapes and very narrow hallways. We're happy to say that's what you're looking for. It plays excellently. You face waves of the undead with the occasional boss. Try to work out your way through the level. And if you're trying to secure a position, that's what you need to do. That's pretty much it. There's no deep storyline to keep you going, and if you love shooting, you're getting a lot of that here. Every sniping weapon feels great to shoot with different reticles, recoil and reload rates to find the right one for you. There are also shotguns, various pistols and other tools at your disposal. There's nothing better than getting the perfect shot or slaughtering a huge wave of enemies. When you play online, it's very arcadey. Players compete for the best score, and with each headshot, explosion or kill shot, your combo increases. Very addictive stuff, and we love this sort of thing here at SwitchWatch. If you miss, it resets. The levels are repetitive by the nature of the game, and it's definitely more fun with friends, of course. However, the levels do outstay their welcome with 30 to 45 minutes of gameplay and no way to save your progress until the very end, and that's if you have the perfect run. Originally, we thought the game would be a brainless, quite literally shooter, but it's more than that. You can set traps and mines for incoming waves, and the zombies can come in from any direction depending on the section of the level. Like Rebellion's other shooter series, Sniper Elite, there's much more focus on the sniping than anything else, as secondary weapons have far less ammo and are used for rare close-quarter situations. This game isn't designed to be a Call of Duty Zombies knockoff. Snipers definitely take precedent here, and that's definitely Rebellion's forte. It's best to play Zombie Army Trilogy friends or at least strangers throughout matchmaking. Time and time again, it was tough to defeat the insurmountable amount of zombies limbering towards your position, but together as a team, we saw it being much more manageable and, to be honest, way more fun to communicate with each other. You can also revive each other within the level. Switch owners have exclusive features for this game. It includes HD rumble and motion controls, but don't get too excited just yet. The motion controls are rather disappointing. We cranked up the sensitivity to the max, and yet the camera barely moves with your motion, and therefore playing handheld with the motion controls felt really hard on the right hand. With the tactile motions of the right Joy-Con, it was just a pain after an hour of gameplay because of the long levels. You'll be feeling the pain in your wrist whether you're playing on the fully sized console or on a Switch Lite. In terms of audio, whoever created the sound effects did this game justice. The voices from the zombies sound eerily creepy, and without the audio on, you'll not be able to play the game properly. The sounds of a rushing zombie with a grenade will pierce through your soul and make you perk up. And the general sounds of the environment and the groaning of the undead are spot on. It's a spooky environment for this horror third-person shooter. The voice acting fits the campy nature of the Zombie Army Trilogy too, and while there isn't a lot of it, we loved how Rebellion incorporates the radio as a storytelling device. It's a shame that the music is a little bit off the mark in our opinion. Some tracks sound like they belong on a disco floor than in the heart of an apocalypse. And then a majority of the soundtrack is able to establish that intense engagement between hordes of undead against you. It won't win any awards, but most of the music in the game fits the overall mood of the game, mostly. In terms of visuals and performance, the Switch version of Zombie Army Trilogy does run very well. Dozens of zombies fill the screen, but when you do connect to the online servers, there are a few issues here and there. But bear in mind, we have been playing the early versions. The frame rate is rock solid and pixel perfect accuracy on each shot of the sniper. You'll feel like you can move around with ease, and the visuals are good enough to see every zombie ahead of you. There is the signature X-ray shots that Rebellion have included in their games, and it looks amazing in this port. Slows down and you can see the bullet in slow motion pierce a zombie's skull. And if you've played Sniper Elite, you know what we're talking about. As far as we can see, there are no constraints on the Switch version as opposed to its more powerful counterparts, except for the graphic quality, of course. But then this is a big but. The online is when it gets a little bit messy. Every shot feels delayed and the reaction time between the hit and the confirmation of the kill is slightly off. Hard to get adjusted to the shots not hitting the way they're supposed to. And a few times during online gameplay, our characters got stuck behind barrels or was jittering around all over the place, making the game somewhat unplayable. If you do have a bad connection, you can really see it. With other player sessions, it was perfect. So we've not been able to match up with loads of people during our game sessions as it was pre-release, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially if your friend has slow internet speeds. Despite these issues, it was surprising that Zombie Army Trilogy has the most intuitive party system on the Switch so far from what we've played, with an almost instant invite system that takes you right into the party. Each level has its own personality and locales and make it stand out. Rebellion went to extra lengths to include German-like propaganda on the walls from the World War II era, and it does look really authentic. To avoid that typical grey aesthetic of this genre of shooting games, Rebellion also added a black and white filter every once in a while to keep it fresh with some levels. There are different types of zombies too that move and act differently. One runs towards you and explodes, one has a spade and another has a gas mask on, etc. What makes every zombie stand out are those yellow eyes piercing at you as you scope in. Like the sound design, it adds that creepy touch to Rebellion's enemy designs. During our playthrough so far, the developer has been able to keep it fresh with new types of zombies and the World War II locales. In terms of value, Zombie Army Trilogy is a great package for those who want to lash out at some Walking Dead on the go or at home. There are 3 sets of 5 levels that reach around 14.5 hours of gameplay. There is a lot here to sink your teeth into, and let's be honest, there's not many games on the Switch like this, especially with online and co-op in mind. There's also the Horde mode and a bunch of extra stuff that you can do in each level of the campaigns. The Horde mode has 5 maps and is similar to the Zombies mode in the Call of Duty series, but lack the flair and style of the said game. In terms of our verdict, Zombie Army Trilogy is an impressive port with all things considered. The online was a little bit shaky when we tried it out, so do bear that in mind, and the motion controls were not great. The game will keep us coming back over and over again though, thanks to its fun but sometimes repetitive gameplay and great sound design. We hope that we can take on some missions with the people watching or reading our review. Ladies and gentlemen, we give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks to Chris Penwell again for putting this script together. We wouldn't be able to output the amount of content that we do if it wasn't for our excellent writers over at www.switchwatch.co.uk. If you do have time and you like to read, head on over there and show your support. In terms of this video, let us know in the comments section what your thoughts are on this game. Is this one that you're going to pick up? Don't forget, we will have some Amazon links for you if you want to pick up a physical version of the game as well, and if you want to leave a like, that would be much appreciated. We really do appreciate all of the support you ladies and gentlemen give us. Thank you for helping us to reach 50,000 subscribers. It really doesn't go unnoticed. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. Take care everyone. See you again soon on the next one.